Why does this feel final? It all comes down to cadences, or how musical phrases end. The final two chords of a phrase are called a cadence, and they help structure our music into beginnings and endings. When composers want to create a sense of closure, they use a 5 or 5/7 chord, creating tension, which is then resolved by moving to the 1 chord. This 5/1 motion gives the 1 chord a feeling of finality. When this happens at the end of a phrase, we call it an authentic cadence, and it's our most basic sense of musical closure. Today, we understand this 5/1 relationship as a harmonic event, one chord resolving to another, but its origins lie in melody and counterpoint. Western music evolved from unaccompanied melodies, which had their own linear cadence independent of vertical harmonies. As composers began combining more voices, this melodic event transformed into a harmonic one. Early melodies, such as Gregorian chants, were initially monophonic, meaning a melody performed alone without accompaniment. Without going into too much detail, chants always ended on scale degree 1 of the mode or key they were written in. To emphasize this final note, melodies typically approached it by step, usually descending from the note above, scale degree 2. This stepwise descent to 1 became the melodic marker for the ends of phrases in early music. We can think of this as a melodic cadence. In modern terms, this is like going from D to C in the key of C major, or scale degrees 2 to 1 in any key. Even today, melodies usually end on scale degree 1 of the key they're in. As music evolved beyond single voice chant, it moved from being monophonic, or one melody, to polyphonic, or multiple melodies. Starting with just two voices, the new second melody would also have to form cadences with the original line, and it did so by moving from scale degree 7 to 1, while the original voice moved from 2 to 1. The arrival of both voices on 1 via contrary motion created a strong sense of finality, forming an early 2-voice cadence. As 3-part harmony arose, the notes leading to the final cadence, scale degrees 7 and 2, were harmonized by a lower voice on scale degree 5, which harmonized with both notes, creating a triad. This lower voice also moved to 1 at the final chord. At this stage, the second to last chord contained scale degrees 5, 7, and 2, all resolving to 1. 3 voices all moving to the same note, again, reinforced this sense of finality. When a fourth voice was added, it could complete the final 1 chord by providing the third, scale degree 3, typically arriving there from scale degree 5 in the preceding 5 chord. This resulted in a complete 4-voice authentic cadence using 5 and 1 chords, with the bass moving 5 to 1, and the upper voices moving 7 to 1, 2 to 1, and 5 to 3. The crucial point here is that these melodic motions predated harmonic thinking. Harmony arose naturally from combining melodies. By adding more melodies to the original chant melody, what was a melodic event came to be understood as a harmonic one, motion between two specific chords, 5 and 1. This meant that the voices were free to use other ways of moving between these two chords beyond the original 4 tracks, though those remain common. The bass would stay locked into 5-1, taking the roots of both chords, but the upper voices can be in any order in a number of different combinations, which all have at least one voice stepping to 1, either taking the 2-1 line or the 7-1 line. And just like before, all of these cadences occur in both major and minor keys. Here are 2 minor examples. These are all different varieties of authentic cadences. They all feature 5 or 5/7 moving to 1. But there's one more important feature here, and again, it involves the concept of finality. Let's listen to these 2 authentic cadences. Which one sounds more final? In the first one, the soprano ended on 3, and in the second one, it ended on 1. We perceive the highest voice as the melody, so when the soprano ends on 1, the cadence sounds more final than if it had ended on a different scale degree. When the soprano voice follows the 2-1 or 7-1 line, this creates the most final sounding authentic cadence, which we call a perfect authentic cadence, or PAC. You'll find PACs everywhere in classical music, especially as the last cadence or anywhere main sections come to an end. It's the ultimate ending. If, however, the soprano voice ends on any scale degree that's not 1, the cadence sounds less final because the melody hasn't reached the tonic. This is called an imperfect authentic cadence, or IAC. IACs are less conclusive than PACs, but still provide closure and are often used at the ends of earlier phrases, sections, or movements within a larger work, with the final cadence being a PAC. You'll often see phrases paired off with the first phrase ending on an IAC and the second phrase ending on a PAC. I hope this explanation has clarified how our concepts of melody and harmony are both independent and inextricably linked. Cadences played a significant role in delineating musical sections, contributing to our sense of time and pacing. If you can remember how these voices originally arrived at 1, you'll be better equipped to tackle these cadences in part writing as well as harmonic dictation exercises. Remember, an authentic cadence is any 5 or 5/7 chord moving to 1 at the end of a phrase. If the soprano steps to 1 and both chords are in root position with the bass moving 5/1, it's a perfect authentic cadence, or PAC. If either of those things aren't true, so if the soprano ends on 3 or 5, or if either of the chords are inverted with the bass on something other than the root, it's an imperfect authentic cadence, or IAC. In this video, we just talked about IACs that involve the soprano not ending on 1. We'll save IACs involving inverted chords for another time. We'll also explore 3 other important types of cadences: half, plagal, and deceptive, in future videos. And all of these play different roles in our sense of timing and expectations. Make sure you're subscribed to Dr. Fromm's Music Lab so you don't miss them. Listen to the end of the first movement of Beethoven's Sixth Symphony on your way out, and see if you can identify whether the final cadence is a PAC or IAC. Remember, it's the highest note that will make that determination, so try to figure out which instrument is playing the highest note and which scale degree it is. If you figure it out, let us know in the comments.